Good morning and welcome to the Standing Committees meeting for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. All council meetings will be live streamed on the city's website, and for guest speakers, please do not turn off your microphones. Our first order of business is roll call. The clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Charland.
Here.
Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross. Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. Mosley. Mrs. Salinetro.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick. Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger, Chair.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind all speakers that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before city council, and profanity will not be permitted. Please state your name and neighborhood for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Chief Pomai Chakmam Yahalahi. Do not see Chief online, so our next speaker is Reverend Dr. Dale Snyder. Do not see Reverend Snyder, so we have final registered speaker is Ikahana Halmakina.
Greetings and good day. My title is Chief Ikahana Halmakina. I am the Grand Inca of the Iroquois Confederacy of the Aboriginal American people, and I just would like to remind City Council to vote no for ShotSpotter. It has become blatantly apparent that ShotSpotter is not helping the city at all solve any crimes whatsoever. It is more so a reactionary tool that isn't being utilized properly. And therefore, we do not need to spend millions of this city's dollars. It's already strapped for cash as far as you all eloquently speak about it. So do the right thing and get rid of ShotSpotter. It's another expense that the city just doesn't need. No more wasteful spending on things that have not been proven to solve crime. 911 works just as fine as it did in yesteryears. So get back to fighting crime the old-fashioned way. The community always responds when shots are fired, calls are made into 911. It's a system that still works and it's still valid. We do not need ShotSpotter, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. There being no further registered speakers, we will now take comments from those in the audience wishing to speak.
Carlino Giampolo, Panther Hollow. Yesterday I asked council members Barbara Warwick and Bob Charland this question. Which longtime residents or homeowners in Panther Hollow have told you that they support the skate park? I then asked them to provide the answer by the end of the day with CCs to fellow council members. They did not provide any names. That is because no longtime residents or homeowners support the illegal skate park. A small self-appointed group of skateboarders have effectively seized public property and converted it to their own private use. Council members Barbara Warwick and Bob Charland, as well as the skateboarders, have justified this by stating that our playground was disused. That is a shameful excuse. No skateboarders or city officials even asked the most important question that before construction began. What does the community want? They didn't respect the longtime residents and homeowners of our community. The ill-conceived illegal skate park has violated numerous Pittsburgh municipal codes. There was 1, no notice to longtime residents or homeowners from either the skateboarders or city officials. 2, no community engagement. 3, no development activities meeting. 4, no planning commission hearing. 5, no zoning board of adjustment hearing. 6, no plans submitted to the city for the construction of the skate park. 7, no permits issued for the construction of the skate park. 8, no city supervisor inspection of the construction work. 9, no certificate of occupancy obtained. Not only did they commit these violations, but as discussed in previous testimony, skateboarders and their supporters incited 11 shameful incidents of harassment intended to instill fear in the residents. Council members Warwick and Charland have ignored that shame. However, shame that is masked, denied, numbed, or ignored will continue to grow. That truth is evident as the shame of the legal skate park has been passed on to Mayor Corey O'Connor's administration. The illegal skate park is the antithesis of the mayor's desire that our recreation areas reflect the will of the host community and that they demonstrate a deep respect for the host community's heritage and culture. Soon, hundreds of thousands of visitors will descend upon Pittsburgh for the NFL draft and witness either the dignity or the shame of our city. End the shame and shut down the illegal skate park that the longtime residents of home and homeowners of Panther Hollow never needed or wanted and never ever should have been built in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Unique Brown. I'm here because I'm confused, concerned, and honestly shaken. Yesterday, the Director's Action Line called me and read me statements that the CEO of the agency that I was complaining about. And this was my first time hearing it. Serious statements. I waited to hear the evidence, the dates, the documentation, so I asked directly, was there any proof provided, any dates, any video, anything to support this? And the answer was no. No proof, no documentation, just her word. And I was told once she answers the Director Action Line, that's it. So I tried another route. I contacted the CEO directly. I asked for the real internal process, the process where someone above her, someone neutral, someone that can actually look into this. Her response to me was I could send her my grievance and she'll pass it on. I need you to think about that. I'm being asked to hand my complaints to the very person I'm accusing. And to trust she'll forward it? How is that independent oversight? How is that free from conflict of interest? How is that a system that protects the public? This is not about attacking leadership. It's about whether power in this city answers to anyone other than itself. Because when is there no requirement for proof, no independent investigation, and no direct path above a CEO without going through the CEO, then accountability feels out of reach. And when accountability feels out of reach for someone like me, someone so small, someone that doesn't have any power, what does that mean for anybody else? I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Yvonne F. Brown. I live at 715 Mercer Street. That's in the high rise up in Katie Rivers Tires. I was told yesterday my minister from Reverend Dr. Scott Snyder is the minister for Bethlehem Church. That is my minister of my church. He had asked about coming down. I told him how he could come down and speak. In fact, in my church, we have breakfast every Sunday, and there were some people from the community, and I was able to speak and tell them that they could come down. Now, I think last week I didn't come on a Tuesday, and one of the men did come down. So the people are listening, and the people want to know what's happening in our community. Now, also, I'm a little bit concerned because I live up in Katy Rivers, and as I told you, that we are being threatened. We have the big man that's threatening the gay white man and calling them names. And he talks very nasty. But also, it was in my door, and I have a note from the housing, from the management, that I have 30 days to move out because they say that my daughter's living with me. She's in the home, but she does come there, and if the kids miss the bus in the morning to go to school, because they got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, if they miss the bus, then they do sometime come over to my house. But they're actually saying, I'm telling her she don't live here, and you can see she don't. She's in the home. I told her, I took her a paper, and if she don't accept it, I'll be back again. But I want to let you know, this is, when I come down for a reason. There's nothing that I can get. I want to know about my son, but hey, it don't seem like I'll know that. But I always talk about going to church. And I want to say that I took a visitor to church, and the visitor went to get the food, and the food wasn't like whatever. She went and changed the food. When she came back and she heard one of the members say, they're so ungrateful. See, this is the same thing that I say about you. Now, this woman didn't know the woman took the eggs back because it had cheese in it, and she can't eat cheese. And when she takes and gives her the food, the other woman's sitting there saying, so ungrateful. See, you need to listen. You need to shut your mouth and sometimes think about what the other person is going through. She didn't know, so why did she automatically say that this woman didn't appreciate food? But if you can't eat it, like the woman said, I can't eat the eggs with the cheese, because if it will, I will have gas. All through the church, I'll be just breaking wind, like our president. They say he's a big farter, big stinking thing. You have to forgive me, because when I think about him, forgive me, Lord, I didn't mean that.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Cerise Taylor, the missing child, Special Agent Sunshine. Beauty in the unknown. God, I know some things about you, but so much remains a mystery, and that often unsettles me. The mystery of you is like a midnight sky, so immense it could swallow me whole, but I know your love is vaster still. God, help me to find beauty in the unknown and to love whatever I glimpse of you. In Jesus' name, amen. The wisdom for today comes from Proverbs 11:29. It says, whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. Psalm 25:12 says, who then is the man who fears the Lord? He will instruct him in the way chosen for him. I got into a dispute with a bus driver who told me I couldn't hear the voice of God, but I don't have a phone. So I have to be led and guided by God. He's the only one that's protecting me. Nobody else is. These guys are still trying to take me out. That's why the TV's not in here, because they want people. Somebody already took out an insurance policy on me because I'm supposed to be dead, and they're going to get the money. They think. They are not. Martin Luther King. This is the last day I can bring one of his quotes, as I have been bringing most of this month. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This heinous injustice of me being abducted, identity theft fraud, my identity being stolen by a family that wasn't mine, to steal my inheritance, trust, money in a will, a house, it's just too much. Illegal conservatorship, illegal guardianship, fraud by computer, insurance fraud, people being taken out for insurance money. God has intervened, I promise you. So, in finding clear guidance, He wants to give us clear direction, God does. So what must we do to hear His voice? Clear the pathway, exercise patience, persist in prayer, and search the scriptures. To receive the Lord's guidance, we must repent of all known sin and make our desires secondary to Him. A song I want to share with you to end my celebration of Black History Month comes from Natalie Cole. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very
Thank you very much.
extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you
Your time is expired.
love. Is all that I can get to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two and love can make it.
All right.
Take my heart, but please
Are there any further speakers?
love was made for me and you.
Any further speakers? Okay, we will move on to our standing committees agenda. Our first committee is the Finance and Law Committee. New papers, Bill 121.
Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Elena Griffiths in an amount not to exceed $2,650 over 1 year in full and final settlement of a claim for damage to her parked vehicle on Whiteman Street from a city EMS vehicle on August 18th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 121, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Affirmative recommendation. Bill 122.
Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Naeem Martinez and Max Petrunia, P.C., in the amount of $62,000 over 1 year in full and final settlement of litigation filed in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 122, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. Bill 123.
Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Network Deposition Services for legal transcript services for an amount not to exceed $24,538.10 over 1 year.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 123, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. Bill 162.
Resolution transferring the amount of $2,500 within the 2026 operating budget from City Council postage to the Office of the City Clerk for the purpose of professional services.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 162, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Affirmative recommendation. That moves us to invoices. Is there a motion on invoices?
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of invoices, please say aye.
Oh, sorry, is there with the Azure multiple invoices on that? Under innovation and performance?
Thank you. Do we have our our budget director to answer questions about multiple invoices under innovation and performance?
Good morning, everyone. Kirsten Walmsley, Council Budget Director. So these charges they're related to a 9P contract, but they're uncontracted services. I forget what Azure actually is, but they are for different months. So like the individual month's invoices don't go over the $5,000 limit, but if you want more information on that, I can definitely get that from INP.
Yeah, I think Azure is a cloud service, I think. Okay. I was just wondering. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's council's prerogative to pass today and then, or approve today and then get final information later, or to strike and then resubmit.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. So all those in favor of invoices, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Invoices are approved. Moves us to P cards. Is there a motion on P cards?
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion. I will note, and thank you to, as always, to Budget Director Walmsley for pointing this out. There is a payment under PLI to Uniform Construction in the amount of $11,844, and that's the Q4 payment that PLI is required to pay to the state and can only be paid by P-card. We see this every quarter.
Trust you.
Any further discussion on P-cards? Yes.
Just
Councilman.
briefly, I'd like to welcome the director to the table, officially as director.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. Great job answering your first set of questions as officially Budget Director.
See, we don't bite.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
We'll keep it easy for you for the first
I feel
part
like
of
I
the
have
year.
big shoes to fill, but I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of P cards, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. P cards are approved. That moves us to, thank you very much. That moves us to Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let's see. Do we have Councilwoman Gross with us?
Yes.
I know that you were,
She's online.
we were wanting to move to earlier.
Yeah, we're good on.
Okay.
Yes, I'm supportive. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. It sounds like we have enough time to move to stay as normal, so we'll move to Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. Next, chaired by Councilwoman Salinetro.
Supplemental papers, Bill 179, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into a supplemental agreement or agreements with A. Liberoni, Inc. for costs associated with construction for the Sylvan Avenue Multimodal Path Project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof, not to exceed $1,732,504.13, a net increase of $86,733.76, reimbursable at various rates.
Motion to approve? Second with discussion?
Discussion?
Yeah. Could we have the director come? Thank you, or assistant director.
Morning, everybody. Jeff Scalligan, Acting Director for Fedoni.
Yeah, great, thank you. So if we could get, if I could get an update on
Sure.
sort of where this project is, what the timeline is, and then I just have a few questions I think I know the answers to, but just for the public. Yeah, because there's some concerns with the community and whatnot that I think we can.
We are in our final stages of construction right now. We need additional money of the $86,733. That is actually all 100% federal and state dollars. There's no local money in that. So when we had some overruns, we were able to get PennDOT to participate in that.
Great. So what the questions I have, and I hope you can answer
Sure.
them, is I know, is of course there's concerns from the community because this project was originally part of the Mon-Oakland Connector overall project, right? And so the Mon-Oakland Connector got scrapped. We passed legislation to make Lower Shenley sort of officially part of Shenley, and then also a resolution prohibiting development in parks that doesn't directly benefit, the public's enjoyment of the parks, including roads that connect to neighborhoods. This, though, is a bike pedestrian trail through Sylvan, which basically connects Greenfield Avenue to Hazelwood Avenue. But just, and I just want to ask this and let you, is that the concern from folks who, sort of a little bit of leftover, jitters from the whole Mon-Oakland Connector fight and all of that, is that we build this thing and then it's going to be able to turn, it's going to be a road that allows for multi-passenger vehicles, 5 years down the road when I'm gone and whoever, that it'll be like the Mon-Oakland Connector back again. So I just wanted to let you answer that and assuage any.
It's built for pedestrian and bike use only. We didn't put a big sub base on there to be able to hold vehicles at any weight or anything like that. So it is just for a trail for bikes and people.
Great.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to sustain
And do we know are you able to answer about like the width? I actually haven't, I should go and look at it. I haven't been, but about the width and like how it's sort of structured?
Good question. I don't have it at the top of my head. I don't want to quote a different width that I could get that to you though, but it's not. It wasn't the original width though. think the original width, I think was 12 feet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that, I could get back to you on that.
And does it have separate bike pedestrian, like, sections, or?
It does, so we'll be able to accommodate bikes, I think, coming down from the original trail, and then it's gonna be one trail the whole way down to, or one path the whole way down to Hazelwood.
Okay. So just for anyone who's listening, the reason that I am so supportive of this is that in addition to being a nice green bike connection between Greenfield and Hazelwood, it also will be for the Hazelwood community just a nice, if you wanted to just take like a small bike ride or walk with your family, like, and just there and back, it's a nice green space for the community. So I think all in all, I'm supportive of this project. I know that there was trepidation. I had trepidation at first as well, right?
Yeah.
But I think at the end, and it is grant funded, and that's also important to note that
And I
this is
looked real
not.
quick to get the feed for you, and I don't have it on top of my head, but I will send it to you. It's not as
Yeah.
big as it was at the beginning.
Yeah. And I know that, there's always, we spend all this money on bike stuff, and why don't we? But we're actually not spending money. This is a grant. So it's a grant for this, and I think it will be a very nice asset for the community. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of, I opened the bill, now I need to get back to the agenda. All those in favor of Bill 179, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. New papers, Bill 119.
Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to enter into a contract with Carnegie Mellon University in an amount not to exceed $200,000 over 3 years to support the city's Safe Streets and Roads for All project. CMU will also provide in-kind services in the amount of $200,000 for a total project cost of $400,000.
Motion to approve? Discussion?
Apologies. What is this going to do?
Sure, we received a $200,000 Safe Streets for All grant from the federal government. Carnegie Mellon is throwing up $200,000 of their own money. So they're not able to be the direct recipient for the grant, so we're receiving the award. And this legislation is for us to receive $200,000 for CMU.
And where is this going to go?
This is going to be throughout the city. We don't have anything really outlined yet. This is just the start of the project. We haven't done too much yet with CMU on it. So we've had kickoff meetings. We're going to have some kickoff meetings with them for it.
So is this going to be projects, not just projects around campus?
Correct.
Oh,
I should explain that better. Yeah, it's not just for CMU, like the area. It's going to be citywide.
Oh, okay. So CMU applied for or wanted to apply for
We
the-
applied for the grant.
Okay.
We accepted it, and then CMU is going to throw in $200,000 of their own money.
Okay. All right. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Further discussion? Director, I am curious about this, so.
Sure.
And forgive me, because there are many different DOMI programs.
Yeah, I know, I was gonna say-
Does this fit into an existing program, or is this gonna be sort of a new, just like
It's
grant
part of the Vision
specialized?
Zero. You're going to see it come up
Okay.
with the Vision Zero, and it's like you said, it's like the Safe Streets for All is citywide. We were just able to get a smaller grant for $200,000, and we need a 50% match.
Yeah.
CMU came and helped supported it.
This is different from like safe routes to school, and
Exactly.
it's different from,
Yeah.
okay. And then my other question is there a time frame under, by which it needs to be expended?
There is not.
Okay.
There isn't.
So if we take a little time to develop it, think through what's needed, it's not gonna disappear next year?
No.
Okay, thank you. Second round, Councilmember Warwick.
Yeah, I do have a question, just since we, obviously there's lots of discussion about our large nonprofits contributing to the city, et cetera. So I wonder, is this well, really just about like the process, right? Like, is this an efficient way to do it where it's like project by project a little bit, or is it more maybe that's more just like a general question, just like, one large payment to the city, like how does this feel for DOMI
So
in terms of time and energy?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll hire a consultant to help us with the work. this money helps us pay for the consultant. So like we'll receive we will not receive the $200,000 when we receive an invoice. We'll be able to reimburse, or I'm sorry, we'll be able to pay, send it to CMU and they'll be able to pay us to get reimbursed. So that's what it's for. Did I say that right? So like we get $200,000 from CMU. Once we get a invoice, we'll be able to send it and get reimbursed from CMU is what it is.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, again, always appreciate support from the nonprofits, but I do sometimes wonder if it's not a little bit more efficient for them just to make a large contribution, even if it's specified, right?
I mean,
even if
they're
it's
helping us
specified,
with
like for like traffic calm or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
I mean, they're helping us with the match. It's a 50% match to
Right.
$200,000 that we didn't have.
Yeah. No, I understand. But at any rate, that's just sort of something the conversation, I guess, for the administration to have with our large nonprofit partners. Thank you.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 119, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. Thank you, Director. That moves us to Land Use and Economic Development Committee, chaired by Councilman Wilson.
New papers, Bill 120, resolution, further amending resolution number 924 of 2024, effective December 18th, 2024, as amended, entitled, Resolution adopting and approving the 2025 capital budget, the proposed 2025 community development program, and the 2025 through 2030 capital improvement program, so as to decrease Lawrenceville United by $15,000 and increase Lawrenceville Corporation by $15,000, so as to fund specific public service grant projects of City Council and authorize a subsequent agreement or agreements.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 120, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation, Bill 124.
Resolution amending Resolution number 792 of 2024, effective November 6th, 2024, as amended, entitled, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement or agreements with various community-based organizations for the implementation of the 2024 Neighborhood Economic Development Program and to provide for the payment of the cost thereof at a cost not to exceed $720,000, so as to decrease Lawrenceville United by $27,000 and increase Lawrenceville Corporation by $27,000, so as to authorize a subsequent agreement or agreements.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 124, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. That moves us to Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology Committee, chaired by Councilwoman Gross.
Supplemental papers, Bill 175, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Levy Convention Centers, aka Levy Premium Food Service, in the amount of $9,077.40 to pay for costs incurred for cybersecurity training.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 175, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. Deferred papers, Bill 41.
Ordinance supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title I Administrative, Article 7 Procedures, by adding a new chapter, Chapter 173A, Housing Data Dashboard.
Motion to approve. Discussion.
Second.
I'll defer to the sponsor.
Thank you. So I need to make a motion to amend. You should have it in front of you. The amendment is rather small, but was a suggestion from city planning. The way we had it written before, it doesn't. This dashboard would not include communal living spaces, and although we don't have a lot of those throughout the city right now, we do want to make sure that those are captured. So there's a strike through there that, about what actually defines living quarters. But again, I think you guys have all heard me talk about this. Having the ability to measure our housing construction in the city, not necessarily measuring the construction, but measuring new available units, not measuring certificates of occupancy or building permits or applications, but actually measuring, places where a family or an individual or anyone can live is really important, and something that modern cities do, and something that we have not done here yet. So with this legislation, and I'd ask for your support, we will be able to create a dashboard so we can publicly see where what years we're building more, and what gets measured gets improved. So with that, I would like to ask for a motion to amend.
Second.
Was that a motion? And
A motion to amend.
Motion and a second. Okay. Discussion on the amendment. Councilman Wilson.
If you allow an interrogatory.
Sure.
So with this dashboard, I heard you say we build. That mean like anyone in the city, like private or?
Yeah, sorry. That's I guess I wasn't precise there. When someone builds in the city, it would measure that. We as the city obviously don't build any housing, but we'd be measuring, when someone comes in and builds a house, we would be able to capture the data year by year.
All across the board, like any?
All across the year, yep. Yeah,
Like
so
whether it's
yeah,
market rate or
exactly
any level of affordability.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wrote this legislation. You have it in front of you. There are things that I would like to see, like affordability captured in that number. How long it took for construction to happen. How much subsidy was available. But those are things that could be added to this. Right now, the idea is to get the dashboard, to be able to say that last year in Pittsburgh, 726 new units were built. And all those additional things are great, but let's get that number first. And let's not delay getting that number by trying to make the best data dashboard. Let's create the minimal viable product right now.
All right, thanks.
Sorry, I don't know who raised their hand first. Councilmember Warwick first.
Just a quick question, and sorry if you said this already. Would this also include units that were brought back online, like if it was a vacant or abandoned property, whatever? That yes, okay, okay.
Yeah, if the house was previously vacant, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and can we also ask? Is it city planning or IMP? I saw it was in IMP, but.
City planning would collect the data, and INP would create the dashboard.
Okay. Just from what you said about creating the dashboard, I mean, I assume IMP would put all the nice to have, so to speak, in it, right? And then the question is about collecting it.
Collecting the data. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would be, if it's built, I mean, if it's a tool that's built, but that it should be built with all the capacity that we would like to have filled, and then, as you said, fill it as we can over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I may, one thing that I included in this is we have a deadline for this dashboard to be up by the end of the year. And next year, the thing that I really want to see is how many units come offline. And that is a more complicated problem. I think there's a lot of ways to solve it. I have ideas of how I would solve it, but I'm not going to be the one that's counting it. So I want the planning department to be able to calculate that number, because we want to see, it's great if we put 1,000 new units up, but it doesn't help us if we also lost 1,000 units, So, I have ways I would solve for that,
Right.
but I want them to figure exactly how they would work through that problem.
And in your additional information, is vacancy part of that? So like if we're building units, but a quarter of them are sitting vacant?
No, that isn't something I included. That would probably be another
That feels like something
another
that would be important to
thing
know.
to
Yeah.
include there, but the availability.
Like occupied or
yeah.
not, yeah. And then whether or not, again, I know it gets very complicated, right? But then, and we're talking about like, Airbnb type things, like is that an occupied unit or not, right?
Yeah, yeah. We don't have vacancy, and again, it is just simply the raw number is the task, and then in the whereases I included a bunch of other things that we would like to see as well, but what I have been afraid of, and when we've talked about this before, is when we start adding those other things on, that delays this project further and further. So, but let's deal with that after this. Deal with whatever additional information we want to know after we create this.
Yeah. Well, maybe as we can, I assume you'll but mid-year, take a look at if there's a prototype of like, okay, from IMP, like this is sort of the,
Yeah.
what do you think of this? Like, does this cover all the bases? And then we can make sure that what's in there. And then, of course, filling the data's a different story. That's a different story. Yeah.
But again, this is something that almost every modern city has a version of this. Sometimes they're solely focused on, affordable housing or solely focused on one type of housing, but we don't have anything. And, it's 2026. Let's get this minimal viable product up and running. So, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross.
Thank you. I just want to say that I am enthusiastic about this legislation. I'm really excited that we're moving forward with it. Thank you to Councilman Charlin. I have told him, and I probably said it here, I could show you years of emails requesting this information from the various departments and getting partial or incomplete spreadsheets back. And it's harmed our policy making, I think, and it's really critical that we have this information to ensure that we are doing housing policy better. So appreciate it. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Coghill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm fully supportive of it. I think it's vital to have that information. I'm actually surprised that so what you're saying is in the past, we never logged how many units, new units, affordable or market rate. We've never logged that in the past.
Even if you just see the building in front of you.
Yeah,
it's not
right.
recorded anywhere.
As we try to increase our tax base for the future, it's, very important information. And again, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't track that information. Will we be able to, is the data there in the past, to look back 5 years and see how many units we added 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Not that it's part of this bill, but is that data there or is it not?
If I can do interrogatory.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So there's ways that could be collected. It's not that we don't, everything that is built should have a certificate of occupancy, mm-hmm. but we don't publicly display it anywhere. We don't have, it probably does exist in a spreadsheet somewhere, but it's definitely not publicly available, and it may not actually exist in a spreadsheet. I think what Councilwoman Gross has kind of referred to is like there's kind of like this oral history of like, I see that building there, and I know that they're trying to build this there, but they're, and a lot of the real estate companies will provide their
That's not one.
will provide their estimates of how much we've built this year, but we don't have anything that is centrally like a city depository of this information that we can look at and we can make better policies off of, instead of having this oral history of like that was built there, and as opposed to knowing like there should be a number.
Off second round.
Yeah, that's it for me, Madam Chair. Thanks.
Thank you. First round, we have Councilman Mosley.
Yeah, thank you. I thank Councilman Charlin for taking the lead on this and request an interrogatory. Councilman Charlin, you had mentioned multiple cities that have some version, of this dashboard. Are there any particular cities that really stand out that we can look to in the months as this is coming together, to look at, a potential vision of where you would like to see this thing go when it's finally launched?
For the minimal viable product, I'm not sure if there's a great example of that. I think there are, with the bells and whistles, New York City has a really good one. And we heard a lot about Minneapolis. Minneapolis kind of had, theirs is a little bit different. Theirs looks like if you ever look behind the counter at McDonald's and you see like where the order is, like order came in here, this is how long it's taking, finished product, pick up order 742 or whatever.
Right.
That's kind of how Minneapolis's looks. It's pretty cool. And that really focuses on affordable units. I don't know that they capture all units in the way that we're looking to here, but it is some version of this exists in most cities. But we looked at New York, Philadelphia, and I think the Minneapolis one again is like version 3,
Right.
So we're trying to get to version 1 here.
Okay. Thank you. That exhausts my questions.
Thank you. Second round, we have Councilman Wilson, followed by Councilwoman Gross.
Sparked a big conversation.
Yeah.
But we can have an interrogatory if you'd like. But I just want to, say I think it's a great idea, and looking forward to the finished product. But sitting through the different budget hearings that we have, like this isn't like novel information. Like we have the information, and we see it on a graph from PLI, but we would be putting this into like a visual map.
Yeah, I mean,
Show it to
so
me.
we have
because PLI shows up and they show permits, but they can easily
Right.
show the AUKs that are completed, and they also show the amount of money that each project took. So they
Yes.
probably have the amount of units. So I mean, the information is there. It's just we're putting it into a visual.
Yeah, and there's some noise in, a building permit may not actually turn into a unit or may
Right.
turn into a different unit. Or someone might end up getting 3 building permits, and change their plans on what they're building. So there's some noise in there that needs to be sorted out. And that's why I'm really, one of the things that I'm really adamant about is like, I don't want to measure certificates of occupancy. I don't want to measure building permits. I want to measure housing. And while a certificate of occupancy in most cases would indicate that this is, a new unit or a unit that's available, it may not. And that was something that we saw in discussions last year, that there is some noise there, and we want to make sure that we're measuring the thing we're trying to measure here.
Yeah, the noise would definitely be with the difference between a large building, like an apartment building, versus a house. There's no certificate of occupancy for a house. People think there is, but
Single family house, yeah.
Yeah, for a single family house, there isn't. It's just the permit's closed, and that's it. So, yeah, there will be some discrepancy there, like the finish point.
Mhm.
So, it'd be good to have it all together.
Thank you.
And actually, to build upon it, is I think is the best part, because then you can put, what subsidies went into certain types of projects for us to understand globally throughout the city, where resources are being used. Whether, it's always appropriate to get more housing, but, just basically where not grants, but like where, some are grants, but, where the money's going, whether it's state, federal, or local, to, get somewhere with where we need housing or we need a certain specific type of housing. So thanks.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're not talking about like oral history at all. I mean, we're talking about like, hey, Director of PLI, give me the spreadsheet of units that have been completed. And they were unable to do so. Right? And so, yes, they were not actually recording in a way that they could produce a report on how many units were issued. So again, An occupancy permit is the last thing, right? That means that that is a new unit that is now online. So if one of the giant buildings down on, the Strip District or in Lawrenceville, one open that's nearly 500 units, right? No one can live in it until PLI has issued that occupancy permit for exactly that number of units, right? And yet, they were unable to provide to council members the information. And I kept saying, this is absurd. Like, I will hire 10 interns and we'll go into each building, write down the number of units is permitted because it's posted. You can only have a certain number of units in the building. It doesn't speak to, as the councilman pointed out, the pre-existing units, especially single-family homes, which don't require occupancy permits. And so for the last few years, I was at least just saying, listen, we've had this, and then 10,000, a few years ago, I think we had surpassed 10,000 units, if we could, counting it informally, of new construction. And yet, there was no authoritative count that they could produce out of their data or records. And I was like, if I need to send a team of people over to your office, we'll just go through all the paper, let's just figure it out. So I'm hoping with this legislation, we'll all have the same information that is authoritative, that is the one source, instead of all of us trying to patch it together from other sources as well. So, okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? So currently we have a motion to amend on the table, and that's what we're discussing. So all those in favor of the proposed amendment or the motion to amend Bill 41, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Bill is amended. Any further discussion on Bill as amended? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 41 as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Affirmative recommendation on Bill 41. That brings us to Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilman Mosley.
New papers, Bill 117, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 2402 North Charles Street at no cost to the city.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 117, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Affirmative recommendation. Bill 118.
Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of the Chartiers Valley District Flood Control Authority to renew the City of Pittsburgh's membership into the CVDFCA and pay fees for the year 2026 in an amount not to exceed $17,204 over 1 year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Bill 118, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Affirmative recommendation. That exhausts our standing committee's agenda. We do have meeting announcements. Next week, council will hold the regular meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd, and standing committee's meeting on Wednesday, March 4th, both at 10 a.m. Tuesday, March 3rd at 1:30 p.m., council will hold a pre-agenda interview for the Planning Commission. Wednesday, March 4th at 1:30 p.m., council will hold a pre-agenda interview for Alcosan and Pittsburgh Water. Friday, March 6th at 10 a.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing for Bill 2025-1993 relative to rezoning parcels. Speaker registration will close at 8 a.m. the day of the hearing. To register to speak at these meetings, please fill out the sign-up form from the council meeting webpage by the deadlines. You may also call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Anything from members? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.